Good morning, everyone. Very excited to be here. Back in Ho Chi Minh, I'm based in Jakarta, so to be home with my family and my dog is always a pleasure. Welcome everyone to an interactive discussion. I would ask that my panellists come and join me on the stage. So, Ngoc, please. Benjamin. And Crystal also. We'll be talking about optimising F&B operations to manage costs and increase profits. Please come and join me on the stage. I'll introduce you in a moment when you are seated and comfortable, but we'll be exploring how F&B, hotel and hospitality operators can utilise new strategies and tools to tackle operational challenges in the face of escalating costs. I do hope everyone will take part, audience included. Miguel, nice to see you. I love his accent. So to kick things off, let's consider the current landscape. We are seeing a continuous rise in labour and product costs, inflation, cost of living. It's posing significant challenges for F&B operations in managing and maintaining profitability. So turning to our experts, I'm pleased to introduce three leading experts in innovative thinking. The first is Ngoc from Sunshine, here in the middle, Benjamin from FutureLog on the far left or your right, and Crystal from Shiji. I look forward to your shared experiences and certainly on the tools and strategies of how we can address these challenges. Benjamin is the Global Vice President of Strategic Accounts at APAC at FutureLog. It's a new promotion. Congratulations. He is a long-standing seasoned hotelier with global experience, managing a large portfolio of hotels. He now runs an excellent IT solution, FutureLog. Crystal is the Senior Market Manager for APAC and Middle East at Shiji. She has an excellent sales career and background, a strong crafter of solutions in the sales and IT industry for 15 to 20 years. Ngoc is the founder of Sunshine Equipment and V Horeca. She is a veteran here in our industry in Vietnam. It's good to see her face again. She has a master's degree in finance at Rennes University in France, fluent French speaker, so she always makes me feel uncomfortable. And she is a market leader in kitchen design and consultancy, as her business Sunshine is one of the thoroughbreds in our industry. Post-introductions, my name is Jonah. Thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all today. Let's kick things off. Let's start with our panellists. Tell us a little bit about yourselves, your personal and your company whys. Where do you come from? What your company does? What is your company why? What's your personal why? Crystal, if I may, start with you. Tell me about you. Tell me about Shiji.
Thank you, Jonah. Good morning, everyone. My name is Crystal Phuong. As you can tell from my name, I'm Vietnamese. But I lived in Singapore now, where Shiji is the Asia Pac HQ. Shiji Group is the global hospitality service provider, established in 1998 with the HQ in Beijing in China and 54 offices around the world. We are lucky to serve 91,000 hotel customers today and provide the comprehensive technology solutions from property management system for the enterprise to point of sales to guest intelligence platform, spa and golf booking, and many more. And our goal is to really provide the integrated tech stack for the hotel to focus fully on what they do best, which is serving the guest. During my 7 years with the company, I'm lucky to wear different hats, from sales to marketing. Today I manage the sales in some of a country in Asia Pac, including Vietnam, but I'm also responsible for marketing for the Asia Pac and Middle East region. So I'm very happy to be here to learn from all of you and to meet all the new industry leaders. Thank you.
Thank you. Ben, how are you today? Tell us about you. Tell us about FutureLog, please.
Thanks. Thanks for the great introduction. So, Ben, I'm based in Sydney, but rarely in Sydney. So I look after the global strategic accounts for FutureLog. FutureLog was established in 1999 and headquartered out of Switzerland. We've got offices that service everything from Middle East, Africa, Asia, and then Oceania. So originally I started, my background was hotels and was in hotels for over 20 years. And then moved over to the software side. About 3 years ago, we established one of our more recent offices in Oceania. So we now service Australia, Fiji, New Zealand out of Sydney, and that's just continued to grow. So FutureLog overall, what we are is we're a procure-to-pay solution. We refer to ourselves that we cover the entire gamut exclusively for hospitality. So international, domestic, hotel chains, restaurant groups. And we cover everything within the system from a purchasing all the way through to the payments that interfaces in with an ERP system. So ultimately, inventory, stock handling, ordering, receiving, and we interface in with leading partners such as Shiji to do, a lot of automated. So in a similar way to what Crystal mentioned, we're there to remove a lot of the admin, a lot of the manual processes that exist traditionally in hotels, automate that so the customers, so the hotels have more time with their guests. And, or importantly, they're getting big amounts of data that they can analyse. Because everyone talks about having data, but without having the ability to analyse it, it's useless.
Thank you. Ngoc, tell me about Sunshine. Tell me about V Horeca, which is your new business. Grateful to be here with you. Tell me about you.
Thanks, Jonah, for the brief introduction. So my name is Châu Tiểu Ngọc. I'm 100% Vietnamese, living in Saigon. Okay, I believe you. Okay, so I come here with 2 caskets. So we talk about Sunshine Equipment first. Sunshine Equipment is a small company with 15-year experience in the business. We do from the consultancy and kitchen design from the very, very early stage until supplying equipment. And after that, with the service of maintenance and guarantee, of course. In Vietnam, we have a stainless steel factory, so we are able to provide the full project from the restaurant to the hotel. And then under Sunshine, we also supply other non-food items that often purchasing department of hotel are looking for, like kitchen utensil and so on. In the past, I do represent a few international brands from porcelain and ceramic, but thanks to COVID, so we have created our new baby in ceramic. The brand is V Horeca Ceramic and Stoneware. And then my new baby is now 3 years old, but the factory is 40 years old. Because in the past, we only produce to export. We were doing OEM. But this is our, let's say this is my last project before my retirement. My mission is to build and create a Vietnamese ceramic brand, firstly for local market, to serve local market, and after that to bring it out beyond Vietnam. So this is my mission today.
Thank you. I'm actually quite excited to talk to you about roof tiles from Hue, but we'll talk about those ceramics a little bit later on. Ben, FutureLog, it's a cloud-based procure-to-pay platform for the hospitality industry. It handles all aspects of purchasing, inventory management, invoicing, and more. So this is the company mission statement. Your company would be a good one to answer this question then. I'm excited to have you here specifically for this. How does FutureLog minimise cost in F&B operations?
Thanks. Look, it's a great question, and what's really, really important is how our system operates is a lot of very different to a lot of legacy systems out there. And we also pride ourselves that we're a customer-driven development company. So what that means is all of our team members, majority of our team members are ex-hospitality. So we've worked in the business, we understand the business, and we understand the business needs. And we're constantly developing our software based on feedback. To speak specifically about how we save costs, procurement in most hotels can be 30 to 50% of the purchasing and the costs associated with the business. So you take energy, payroll, and then all of your costs and consumables makes up a huge delta of that. What FutureLog does is we onboard we manage all of the suppliers on behalf of the hotels so that all of that information is loaded, it's deduped, it's transparent, the pricing is available. And when you've got a group operations, when you've got multiple hotels in multiple destinations, we can standardise all of that information for large portfolios. And what that enables you to do is to then start negotiating. Because one of the biggest challenges that people have, they know what they purchase, but to then compile that data is a very, very cumbersome process. So we are able to automate that. And then you look at the other elements of our system, automating on stock taking, inventory, recipe control, automatic accounts payable. With all of that, you're able to drill into really micro levels of the detail and use that to then deliver cost savings. So the cost savings we deliver are huge efficiencies in automation, as well as then giving the hotels the data to then go forward and then negotiate their suppliers and get better pricing.
In the last session, we specifically heard people talking about increasing revenue to manage cost. Next to cost management, it's one of the best things that we can do. How does your business consider this for clients with the data and systems to increase revenue specifically?
So what's really, really important is until you've got the information at hand, you don't know. And then most hotels then work on the 80-20 rule. So what they're able to do is say, okay, what's most of our purchasing volume? And we start negotiating on those. So we've got case studies where a property was able to pay for the annual licensing fee in 3 months on the savings that they generated just by renegotiating their proteins. So their meat and their seafood items, they were able to run through and do that. And that was all because they had ideas of what they were able to do, but they didn't have the data to be able to put it together. So we can literally, at the click of a finger with our Power BI reporting, provide all of that information for them to go through.
Wow. Shiji, if I may turn to your mission statement. Your mission is to provide the hospitality, food service, retail and entertainment industry with a complete and modern technology stack that is secure, scalable and ready for the future. Shiji is certainly a major player, and with so many parts of your business, again, full stack, a great product. I recently used it with the Rosewood and the Hoyana project and loved it. Crystal, your company is doing a lot in this space. What do you do to minimise cost in F&B operations? In reference to the revenue increases, the digital in-room dining is increasing revenue, and it's certainly the best way to manage cost in that regard. What is the most significant F&B part of your business that's increasing profit for your clients?
It's a very long question.
I can make it longer if you want.
Yes. Well, as what you said, we're doing a lot in this space, and technology, hotel technology in particular, is very competitive. It's evolving, and you see there's a new vendor, new technology come out every single day, right? With also our preferences have changed so much in the last 5 years in the COVID and with the mobile and kiosks and so on. Every different business that we have, and in our portfolio, we have over almost 20 products for China, non-China. Outside of China, we have about 10 different products altogether, from distribution to WeChat to all the way until guest survey and reputation. And every single product, I think the way that we look at it for our, the customer, I echo with Benjamin a lot on this one, is that we want to be customer first. We don't want to be just another PMS or another POS vendor, right? We want to be a partner where we can, look for a long-term success with the hotel, whether it's an independent or a group, so we can grow together and we gather your feedback, we bring it back to development, we enhance our product. In the questions of how we can optimize the cost in F&B business, I think when you implement a new system, because we provide the point of sales, the way we look at it is how can we, first of all, not just only in the area of the cost, but then you can improve that guest dining experience, right? Because repeat guests, you get more revenue. How we can optimize your operation, because if today your staff is more efficient, you can speed up the serving time, you save 5 minutes per order, you are able to serve more guests and then more revenue. And how can we then, lastly is the cost, and then you can improve your bottom line. So every single system that we deploy, we look at, whether we can operate it, we deploy and we maintain. When we install a new system, we are transitioned from the on-prem solution to the cloud technology in the last 5 to 10 years. And operating a on-premise system today, it's really costly with a lot of heavy server on site. You have to pay for all the antivirus, all of this privacy, compliance, and regular update and upgrades. That's also a very high ongoing maintenance cost. So we take away that cost from the owner and operator. We actually take the responsibility to enhance and upgrade our products, right? So you go by subscription base. In the period of COVID, we work with some hotels that really badly impacted with the business. And in a 10 outlets, they are only able to open 2 outlets. So in an old way, you would have to buy the entire system for X number of dollars. But today, you can just say, I only operate for 2 outlets. I only buy what I need right now, and then I add in later. That's the beauty of cloud. The second things after the cloud technology, we move into the mobility, right? So if the guests are going to use mobile to interact with us, shouldn't we actually have that mobility for our operation team? So there's an introduction of mobile pods, which now we advise the customers, say, you don't really need to have a very big workstation in a lobby lounge where you only operate half of the day. Why don't you use a tablet where you can kind of share across your 2 smaller outlets, because you have that ability to switch. So that's also another, innovations where we've seen its big adoption. Hyatt Hotel, it's fully on the tablets for that mobility, right? And you can do many things with the tablets, with the digital signature, which now you can save costs on paper and printing. And deployment for a cloud system today, it's, previously 25 to 30 days for a new system, or even you convert from the old system. We can scale down to, 18 to 20. And some properties very, in a kind of express service, maybe 10 or lesser. So those are the cost, immediate cost that we are able to do. And then in-room dining at the start of the pandemic, it's a great way to actually save the cost, because now I don't even need to buy the tablet at the workstation. I can have that QR code placed in the room. The staff can just, serve the take order directly to my boss station, and the guests can just do the order wherever they are, and I know exactly where they are. And in regard to, the additional revenue from it, we have a little bit on the AI, which I share a little bit more later, but we can actually recommend a certain item based on the guest choice preferences. So one of our customers who use this feature a lot is Fullerton Hotel. If you go to Singapore, you see a very beautiful, iconic. They are going absolutely on the mobile dining for the very beautiful rooftop bar. Very successful. So that's the real case scenario that we've seen the customer actually take the product with them to save costs and to increase revenue.
Thank you. Ngoc, you're an entrepreneur at heart. What is your mission? 15 years with Sunshine, you're now onto a new business. It's an amazing achievement. What are you doing at the moment? Tell us a little bit about your ceramics.
Okay, I noticed that you are interested in my new baby, and you don't care about my teenager, because 15 years is too old already, right? So talking about my ceramic, I can talk for the whole day, but I try to make it 5 minutes. So at first, why I would like to make it happen? Because number one, I have been in the industry for 20 years. I've been working with international brands in ceramic and porcelain and different flatware, cutlery. And then I see that many nice products were made in Vietnam, but branded Italy, Germany, and France. So that's why the idea comes. I would like to build a Vietnamese ceramic brand using all the technology, all the good experience we have learned since the past into our products. And why I would like to do that? Because I would like that in Vietnam, all of us, family or hospitality, we have the possibility to use a good product with the reasonable cost. And then you talk about minimized cost. Minimized cost for me doesn't mean that we have to buy how to say that?
You can say it cheap. Yeah?
Correct. I don't want to use the wording, but I mean less good quality product. No, I would like to do something to prove that we can save the cost by using the nice product, but you need to talk to the right people. And by saying that, I would like to say that I'm the one. If you would like to design something, especially for your business, using a Vietnamese ceramic, but then when people see the product, they will be amazed. Because with the background of 20 years and more, producing for all the big names in the world, we have everything to make the nice product for you guys. This is about the ceramic. Regarding sunshine, how do I, for COVID, it was very tough for all of us. And I'm happy that we're still here today and we're still surviving. Why? Because for sunshine, I focus more on the services. Because sunshine is more on the kitchen equipment business. So we focus on the services and consultancy. Why? Because when customers come to us, if they just come to buy a product, then they just talk about the price. Then I have not much thing to talk about. I would like to talk about why you need to buy this product. Do you have any alternative between, like we said in the car, in the last round we talked about a car. So I say, Chumacher need F1 to race, but he can drive a Toyota very well daily. So in our case, that coming with us, at the very early stage, we talk about why you need this and not that, and how. So putting the right equipment into the right floor plan. So this is, for me, how to save the cost and how to make things become more functional and efficient.
I'm glad you raised that. The $5 door handle, don't buy a cheap door handle, buy a $100 door handle and polish it every day. Good equipment is so important in cost management in F&B, and reinvestment is something that we don't do very well in the F&B industry. Artificial intelligence, I'd just like to throw a spanner in the mix, if I may. I'd like to ask everyone to consider this question. How do you define AI? What exactly does it mean when we say artificial intelligence? We're all hearing it, but will it make a difference in this space? So artificial intelligence, why should F&B operators care? What exactly does it mean for F&B operations? How is it changing the hotel industry and the guest experience? So Crystal, what do you think about F&B operations with AI? Why should we care? What is Shiji developing in this space, and how is it optimizing?
Yeah, it's a great question because we all are in the era of AI. But if you some of you read about it, you know that AI and machine learning have been around for a long time. It started in 1956. But back then, the data memory is not big enough for them to scale, right? So today, with the amount of data that we are able to process, with the storage and every other technology come together, it become real. With the start of a ChatGPT, and we get really excited about it. It will still be here to stay whether you like it or not, right? And it has already have some really big impact in a lot of, just in our daily life, but also in the business. Hospitality, absolutely, you will see it a lot more. And even if you don't want to adopt to it, your neighbor next door, your competitor will. So it's really the matter of when. And so for us, it's always, when we approach a new technology, we do a lot of research. We don't just jump in on the bandwagon just to produce something so that you can grab it at that moment. It's a long process. In fact, for Shiji product, we have already had that AI element in the business way before all of this hype. As an example, is our product review pro. We already started the chatbot and the guest messaging before all of that AI happening, and we have hotel very active on using chatbot in getting reservations on their website, which means you can kind of engage with people before they book a hotel with you, right? A lot of time we only engage with the guests when they actually checked in. but you can do earlier than that. So if we apply that to the F&B business, your business probably start from maybe 11 to 9 or 10. But there are some point I may, just make a phone call and I need a reservation urgently and your business is closed. So what we do, we can actually take advantage of that chatbot on our website, assist the guests with the reservation, get a little bit more of a preferences, whether this dining experience is personal or business, so that by the time they arrive at your restaurant or hotel, you know exactly who is this person, what are they here for, and you can personalize that dining experience. The F&B business is a very competitive, right? Especially we are in the big cities. So how can you make yourself different from the other restaurant? It's all about your service, right? And that experience, the ambience that you create for your customer, of course, pricing is number one. But if I really wanted to pay for, Michelin, Noble experience, I know it's there, right? So using the AI to actually get that, guest preferences, to use that on your advantage, I think it is good. Obviously, with any technology, you need to find a balance between the technology and the human, because human interaction is always going to be there, because we are in the service industry. You cannot 100% leverage that on the AI altogether. And then we talk about the operation, because when we talk about front of house with the guest service, you also need to look at how we can improve efficiency. So there's a lot of data within the enterprise reporting. If you use, you can see how the performance of all of the team, you can actually have that data to predict a different period of sales, whether you need to increase inventory or you need to decrease certain items that don't sell out, whether the promotions with APAC, it's better than MasterCard or Visa, so you can continue or discontinue. So there's a lot of the insights that you can leverage from the machine learning to actually bring it back to the business. And within Shiji, we're very proud of our emphasis enterprise reporting. It is really the powerful tool for our customer to use, especially finance and F&B, because there's just so much of forecasting, predictions that we are doing, and it is not released, and I'm not sure whether if this is going to give me trouble.
Tell us.
When I say that, but wouldn't be nice to say if you go into enterprise reporting and just assume yourself, whether you are independent hotel owner or corporate finance director, you go into your AI enterprise reporting today, and you can just say, give me some suggestions on my upcoming promotions for Valentine's or for Independent Day, and that AI or that little software that you use will be able to pull out all the data that you have and give you some recommendation. And of course, you will still need to assess whether this is 90% accurate or not, but that's at least a tool for you to guide you through based on the data that you already have on site. So that's what's coming.
Good. Ben, your business is a good example of this wonderful niche. You left hotels to work in FutureLog space. How are you looking at alternative solutions and AI with your business?
Look, I think AI is really, really topical at the moment, but similar to, the term of greenwashing, I almost find that sometimes AI is thrown around in such a similar manner where everyone says they're doing AI because they might have a free subscription to ChatGPT. So I think similar to what Crystal mentioned, AI for us is incredibly important. We see some huge work on that, and we've been working on elements of AI, machine learning, large language methodology for quite some time because of just the vast amounts of data. We've got millions and millions of data points on purchasing items, and we're operating in over 52 countries, 2,500 venues. So when you look at the scale of the data that we're compiling, AI is able to really give us a lot of information. What's really important to us is we want to go and understand how to best put it in front of the customer. So we've been doing a lot of work for actually quite a few years on this, and we've got some amazing areas that are soon to be released. But what's really important for us is when we say we want to do something, we want to do it well, and we want to do it better than anybody else, as opposed to jumping on and saying, yep, we've got AI. Where we have already seen some huge advancements, we've transitioned from an OCR invoice process into an AI-driven digital invoicing scenario. So what used to happen is we would get all of the invoices, we'd feed those through, there was human intervention, and OCR is quite old technology. In moving over to AI, we've now been able to see that we've moved from having hours into seconds in processing time, the quality of the data has moved dramatically, and now the customers are able to literally take a photo of an invoice in their cell phone and it's automatically in the system within 15 seconds. So this is just a small level of what we've been able to introduce, and then importantly the data points that we can pull off, then with AI analysing it, is again improving those ability for people to then have better reporting, better drill down.
So time is the real cost saver.
Yeah, so look, even before COVID, everyone's time poor, and hospitality is one of the best, and I know, I worked in it for years. So the reality is if we can save on a process that's repeated many, many times a day, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, on a stock take we've got properties that have cut down their stock taking time by half, that means the team members are able to make money or save money, because if they're not sitting there working on Excel, manually creating all of this information, they're actually got the information at their fingertips, they can make decisions quicker and faster that's hitting the bottom line.
You're talking about automation and technology integration. So Ngoc, are you concerned that your design function will be no longer valid in a few months or a few years? Kitchen equipment specifically as an example. It's very specific to a menu, it's operational design. It's been very specialised industry based on the heavy equipment purchased or the owner's investment. You know, kitchen design has always been labour driven. Will this change? Have you seen any technology that people are using that's going to get rid of your designer?
I don't see it yet. Reason is because normally when we start on a design of kitchen design of the new project, no matter what it's restaurant or hotel, then the most important thing for us is about the concept. So each F&B unit will have a different concept, or at least all of us will want to be different. So if either AI will interfere into our field, it's just to make it better by giving, like, for example, suggestion, but cannot replace what we are doing. Because it's, when we talk about creativity, about ideas, it's relation between people. We need to talk with project developer, we need to talk with operator, we need to talk with a lot of people involving into making the concept workable. So no, from my field, I would not say that AI can replace 100% what we are doing right now. Especially that, just to share information that we are one of the first kitchen design company in Vietnam who have been trained, certified with leadership in energy and environmental design. So our whole team, we are certified on that because we care not only about where to put the right equipment, but only about the energy saving, about the lighting, about the distance. When each staff need to go and take something, we take care about all of these details. Yeah.
We are moving closer to a 10-minute timeline when we're opening up for questions, so I would alert everyone's attention to popping questions into the chat. First one has been well received. Now, before we move on to that, I just want to ask one more question of Ngoc, and certainly in regards to a comment that you mentioned about greenwashing and sustainability. So it's very fashionable now. The younger generation is making purchasing on green branding, in some cases without strong or informed decisions. I know most of the companies will talk about CSR, but greenwashing is very false sustainable practice. And when we're talking about costs in F&B, you know, if you look at plastic containers, for example, when you look at F&B operations, it can be very cost-based. Rooms is 80% profit. F&B example might be 20 to 30% profit in a very good case. Nowadays, most operators, unfortunately, are significantly lower. So important to manage these costs. If we add rent, electricity and other costs in a hotel environment, the full F&B cost, the F&B department would be running at a loss. In fact, most of the hotels in Vietnam I can put into that category. The cost of plastic in our environment, greenwashing, again, Coca-Cola glass bottle. When I first visited to Indonesia back in 1987, there was no plastic. Now there's plastic all over the beach. So the question is, are we being sustainable in when we talk about these things? So Ngoc, what do you see in regards to cost in sustainable product pricing, and do you see any recycled plastics or products being put into the market?
Well, can I talk first about sustainability in my ceramic?
Sure.
In our factory, we have a system that all the water that we are using to produce are recycled. We have a filtering system that can filter 100 cubic meter, sorry, I speak French, cubic meter per day.
Say it in French.
100 cubic meter per day. And then during the process of the production, all the extra clay that go together with the water, we can also recycle at about 80%. All the waste during the production. So this about my ceramic side, about sustainability. We really do and really care. And then it's in our daily activity in production. Now in F&B, I believe here I don't think I have more experience than Benjamin or you, but I also work in the F&B for 20 years. So I would just raise some very small and funny detail, like we talk about saving sustainability. In the kitchen, for example, when the chef cook, they use salt a lot. But we know that the fine salt is more expensive than the rock salt. So if we make sure to train well our team, that they will use the fine salt for the pansy, and then you do. And if they use the fine salt for the soup, it's like you are throwing money into the garbage. They need to use rock salt. So this is one small example. Second thing, now you talk about all of us, including guests, they want more, but they want to pay less. So we talk about the fruits. Normally with all the fruits, people just watch, cut, and display. How about all the small cube, the rest after cutting the big piece? So I would like to talk about creativity, ideas. We just need to add in syrup or some topping and let client to have experience to create like marmalade, all this, so they can enjoy more different things. And from hotel point of view, for the cost, it's still under control. And then regarding idea of marketing, because of myself also in the marketing field, like we need to think about events, promotion for each special days. So giving discount on the total bill, everybody is doing it. There's nothing new. So how if we say that for the person who come at the premise for the birthday is free? Why I said that? Maybe at first we say that, okay, it's more cost, but very rare that people celebrate the birthday alone. They come with friends and family. So all those friends and families, they're the one who pay the bill.
Yeah.
So that's why I say, this is my point of view.
Okay.
Yeah?
I particularly like the point about waste reduction. I mean, I saw a great product called Luminetics. It's a scanner, and Marriott and Accor use it quite, but they don't invest in the equipment, so therefore hotels don't use it. But it can reduce your waste 30, 40% in the first week. Fantastic product. If you haven't seen it, it's a scanner that goes on the bin. We have a few questions, so I'd probably like to move to those quite quickly. The first question is, what do we do to optimise cost if pricing or goods keep increasing between the next 6 to 12 months? I would probably hand this over to Ben and say, Ben, we just implement your product then, surely?
Yeah, I think that's the easy solution. Just buy FutureLog, and we've got a booth over there, and it's all done. But I think to address that really quickly, we've got elements within the system that we are automatically updating pricing, and we also do price comparison in real time. So what that means is their prices will always increase. You might have a monthly contract, you might have a weekly contract, it might be open market pricing that can change daily. Having visibility of those prices change is really, really important, because with that you can make decisions. Then when you look at how we integrate those cost elements to alternative suppliers. If somebody's got a promotion, you don't have to remember, I'm going to contact 3 suppliers. Our system will highlight, right at the moment, currently that product is available cheaper. And that's run throughout the entire approval process of the system. And importantly, if they don't do that, it triggers a report for the management to look at and say, you've spent X amount more than what you needed to if you had not chosen the cheapest.
Can you just clarify how you go local in that sense? Like if there's a local farmer and he's selling his avocados cheaper than the market, how do you go local with a product like FutureLog? What does that look like?
Yeah, so look, we've got a significant experience in operating in Asia and Middle East in really diverse markets. And simply put, we standardise the categories and the categorisation of all of the products in the system so that whether you're buying from a large, an mega market or you're buying it from a small local provider, you're able to we map that all in the back, so it's going to then highlight what that product is. And then when you're mapping those costs associated to the real-time integrations we do with systems like Infosys on recipe management, we take the sales data out, the daily turnover, but we've then got the price automatically updating. So you've got a real-time cost of sales that you're able to envisage at the drop of your finger. So you can literally, if you wanted to, once a week look at your cost of sales. And to answer that question, if an item on a particular product has gone up, you make the decision to increase the sale price, decrease the portion size, or even pull the dish, because you might need to temporarily pull the dish because the price of something has gone up dramatically, or substitute it with another product.
I'm so glad you mentioned that. Menu engineering is so important, and it takes a lot of time to manually process that data. The management of assets and utensils in restaurants, compensating for breakages and loss of assets through department is causing headaches. Please provide advice. Well, you're definitely going to be the person to answer this, but I would point out F&B is a department where the replenishment costs don't seem to happen consistently each month. So buying new utensils and the allocation that's put aside for linen and such forth, so it becomes a problem at the end of quarters. But the management of the assets is causing issues. What would you say about that? That's okay. You can answer first. I'll make them wait.
Okay, so I think I go back a little bit about saving costs and all this thing. As you said, I would say that right now in Vietnam we have more and more quality products. So it's just about how to let the players in the market, in the industry, knows about it in order to have this solution. Because from one side, manufacturer like us, we would like to promote the product, but we need the key players in the industry to know also about this. So replenishment, when they have a needs, they need where to find us. So actually, I'm very interested in what you say with FutureLog, because if you can get all the suppliers into that, so giving a suggestion to our users with all the detail and data, it would be perfect.
I think what she's saying is she wants to be on your database, or wants your database.
No, because when I hear about that, it is very interested. So it saves time for everybody, and time is money.
In the interest of time, that is it for the session, but some closing remarks. Thank you to our speakers and any participants with the questions for sharing your insights and your experiences. It's clear that by embracing innovative thinking and leveraging F&B technologies, hotel operators and F&B operations can navigate challenges of escalating costs and drive sustainable growth. I wish everyone a lovely afternoon. I thank you for your time. We are very grateful. And I close the quote with Carpe Diem. Seize the day. Come and meet our friends here on the stage. Ngoc, thank you. Crystal, thank you. Benjamin, good afternoon.
And thank you, Jonah.